Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my friends, wherever you are in the world. It's always a pleasure to be speaking with you. Thank you for joining me on this very brief webinar where we are going to explore the topic of PMP exam certification, still not succeeding. We're going to give it a little bit of time for people to join, and then we will move in earnest. So again, thank you very much for joining. Let's go through a few quick introductions so that you understand my background and where I'm coming from in this dialogue. All right. So my name is Phil, and I am a project management professional. I got certified in 2005, and before that, I had worked in a number of capacities. I was a project management student, worked in various industries, as you can see on the screen. But when I went for my very first interview after my master's degree, I realized I didn't know enough about project management. So I got certified as a PMP. I was fortunate enough to meet someone who guided me down the path and got certified. And since I got certified, I had the opportunity of working with a number of firms after my PMP, like Honeywell and Motorola, American, General Dynamics, and many more. So I come from, you could say, a pretty heavy process background. I am very big on process, but I am even bigger on the concept of humans, individuals, and interactions and relationships. I got into the world of Agile in 2011, and my mindset began to change from overtly process to realizing more about the people, the individuals, and the interactions. Okay. So, again, today we're going to talk about the PMP challenge. PMP is never enough. And I know this firsthand because I have seen people crash and burn with PMP. I've seen people succeed crazily with PMP. And I've also seen people not have PMP and still do extremely well in project management. So let's dive straight into it. I formed a company called Praizion in the early 2000s and have been fortunate to train many organizations, many government organizations and entities too, such as those you see on the screen, like NASA and the Army Corps of Engineers and the FBI, the US Air Force. So I've seen quite a bit in the world of project management and beyond. The first challenge that I see with a lot of people is the pragmatism challenge. And the pragmatism challenge simply states having a PMP does not equate to pragmatism. So get pragmatic. It's that simple. A lot of people get certified because they are able to prove that they have project management experience. But when you really look deep, you do not find enough of the right level of experience in a particular sphere. The PMP right now has become pretty general. It's become almost a business, if you like, certification. And I'm just keeping it real with you. You know, what used to be the bread and butter of project management and on the exam is no longer on the exam in the capacity that it used to be. And that's just the honest truth. There has been a toning down of what used to be straight ahead raw project management. And that's why when you talk to people today from the world of PMP, a lot of them are not honestly as pragmatic. They may have passed the exam, but they may not have the chops. So the pragmatism challenge, when I really think about it, is how do you, as a PMP, show pragmatism as opposed to just a bunch of principles and theories and ideas? Because sitting down taking an exam for 230 minutes is one thing, but in the real world, when you come across the real challenges of leadership, that's a whole different thing. See? So having knowledge and having a certification is one thing, but being able to pragmatize it is another thing. And I've found that a lot of people, let me just be straight up honest, a lot of you get certified and you're like a deer in the headlights. You got zero clue on how to apply what you've learned. I'm just being honest. So don't hate the bearer of the news, okay? I'm just telling you what I've seen. People get certified, then you put them on projects and they're like, I don't know what to do. That's the challenge, which is why either a lot of people may not apply for certain positions because they feel like it's way beyond them, or you put them in the position and they're not immediately able to grow quick. You see, when you get into a PM role, you're going to have to learn, but you're also going to have to put on your courage hat and have the courage to roll with it. So it's a major issue that I see with a lot of PMPs today. They're certified, but they can't bring the pragmatism. And they can't bring the pragmatism because they have taken an exam on paper, but they cannot survive in the real world. Don't hate the player. Don't hate me for telling you the truth. I'm just the bearer of the news, okay? So deal with it. It's just the truth. All right, here's the second challenge. Second challenge is leadership and EI. Unfortunately, this exam is not a leadership exam. It's an exam that tests you, like I said, based on 35 tasks. And if you're able to show that you can understand the concepts, you pass. But that doesn't mean that in the real world, you will have the soft skills to communicate. Success in project management requires very strong soft skills, leadership, communication, teamwork. And if you are a PMP, but you're still hiding under the table, you're not going to succeed. You need to be a leader. What is leadership? My mentor, John Maxwell, he says the true measure of leadership is influence. Nothing more, nothing less. And a lot of you PMs that get certified as PMPs, you haven't even begun to think about what leadership is, which could be a problem because leadership is influence and it's courage and it's trust. People need to trust you. How are people going to trust you if you're not pragmatic? If you're not able to hold down a project and deliver, or if you're not able to work with a team to deliver? I told you in the very beginning, pragmatism is number one, but leadership really trumps everything else. A great leader understands how to learn. And if you're not good at leadership, you're not good at leading yourself, you may get a job, but you're not going to be able to hold it. And a lot of PMs, they lose their jobs because they're not able to hold down the job because of poor leadership. When you talk about leadership, I often tell people, read The 5 Levels of Leadership by John Maxwell. Level 1 is position. That's all you've got at the very beginning. You need to transcend position. People need to buy into you as a leader. And people can see through a porous project manager that has no substance, which is why I keep encouraging folks to beef up their game. You know, my buddy Ed, who has a channel out there, Conscious Agility, he talks about how when you get certified, don't dump your books. Don't say, oh, I'm now king of the hill and that's it. You got to keep growing. Don't hate the bearer of the news. I'm just being honest. Position is number one, but people need to buy into you at the permission level. Beyond the permission level, you have the production level. This is where people follow you because of the results that you have delivered for the firm. And the question is, have you delivered for the firm recently? When last? Did you do anything significant in your position. Number 4 is the people level. People follow you because of what you have done for them. Your time, your effort, energy, just helping mentor, coach, and train people in your firm goes a long way. But I see a lot of you PMPs. You get certified and then you're hiding under the table because you don't have the conviction of what you claim to have studied. So you're not mentoring anyone, you're not coaching anyone, you're not showing your excellence. And therefore, you're just like any other PM and you don't really succeed. You just kind of get by and you get into the, I just need to hold down this job to make the next check. Don't do that. Really understand that you're a beacon, you're a light, and spread some light with your brilliance if you really truly believe that you've got it. You know, that's how you're going to succeed, not hiding under the table. The way I succeeded at Honeywell was coming out. Some of you are closeted project managers. You say you're a PMP, but you're living in the closet. You don't want no one to know that you're a PMP because you don't have the passion or you truly don't know what you said you're certified in. Maybe you feel, oh, thank goodness PMI gave me the PMP. Thank goodness I'm now a PMP and I'm just going to ride this wave. That's being fake. That's why many of you are closeted. You don't want to come out and train and coach and truly show people what project management is about. Don't hate the player. I'm just telling you the truth. And to succeed, you got to show your brilliance. Stop being a closeted PM. Show people what it's about. Show people that it's all about applying knowledge and skills, but teach them the knowledge, teach them the skills. Talk about the tools. Help people to see the relevance of agility. Some of you are certified and you really can't explain what agile is, which is sad. You got to be able to pragmatize. All right, I'm just keeping it real, just keeping it real. All right, let's move on. So when it comes to leadership and EI, there's a lot to be said. Okay, I'm just dropping truth bombs. Don't hate on me. All right, challenge number 3. It's relationships. You know, when we talk about leadership, I gave you level 1, 2, 3, and then I said 4 is people follow you because of what you've done for them. If you're not building solid relationships in industry, oh my goodness, you've missed the boat. You might as well just pack your bags and go home. And the reason why I say this is the relationships, they help everything. When I think about my first real teaching, training, coaching job, it was as a result of relationships. When I think about my real solid endeavor that I got as a result of PMP, it was all about positioning the relationships. If you are a PMP and you're not building your relationships across the industry, you're not going to go very far. I'll just say that straight up. So networking, understanding that you need to be a river, you need to give, but you also need to understand other people's greatness can flow to you. So build relationships. Number four is agility. A lot of folks get certified, but they leave the world of agile alone, never coming back to it. They feel, oh, this was one hurdle PMI threw into my path as I got certified. I'm not going to have to visit this like ever again, and they move on. Don't do that. You got to be agile in your mind. You got to be agile in your game. Don't be resistant to adaptation. The field of project management is continuously evolving. And if a certified PMP is resistant to change, you're not being agile. You got to be agile, not just on paper, but also in how you embrace new ideas, new ideologies, new methods. Number 5, I find a lot of PMs who get certified nowadays not having a Kaizen mindset. What do I mean by a Kaizen mindset? I'm talking about continuous growth. All right. So some PMs may get certified and refuse to grow. And growth isn't measured by certifications. It's one thing to get a certification, but But it's another thing to really let it pass through you. We have the PMI, ACP, and the SP, and the RMP. And the question is it really passing through you? Are you being a beacon? Like I said, closeted PMs, they don't want to come out. They don't want people to see their brilliance, or maybe they're shy. There ain't no room for shyness on the road to success, right? So continuous learning after obtaining your certification, you got to keep growing. Number 6, stress. I cannot talk about this enough. A lot of PMs, they struggle on the job. You know why? They say, Phil, I'm in over my head. I cannot cope with this job. You cannot cope with the job because you were not true to yourself in the beginning. Or you really didn't have a can-do attitude. Maybe you thought you did, but maybe you actually didn't. Because a can-do attitude jumps on the job and does everything to learn it, no holds barred, gets the training, the coaching, the mentoring, the help they need, and they don't relent until they have dominated that thing. Some folks, they get on a job and they just tap out. They're not able to manage the stress. Being a project manager is very, very demanding. And if you're in one of these extremely demanding, rigorous industries that's more predictive than anything else, and you're not able to manage the stress, you're going to fizzle out. And then you may end up not succeeding because you're going to go back into a cushy job. And then that cushy job may end up not being a progress job. It might end up being a dead end job. You're not going to be able to deal with the stress. In order to get higher as a project manager, you need to, I'll just be honest because I've been there, you've got to be able to deal with the stress. Like a job that is just rainbows and sunshine in project management, I tell you that job isn't going to remain there forever because project management is a very demanding job. You're going to wear many hats and you're going to feel caught in the middle. You're going to feel that tension of being in the middle. As John Maxwell puts it in his 360-degree leader, you're going to feel the tension. The tension is real, my friends. And many people, they tap out and they run away. They go home. They take the ball and they go home. Challenge number 7 is strategic alignment. Not aligning with your organization's goals. Some PMs are very frustrated after getting certified because they feel like the organization should have a PMO, and the PMO is different from how they thought it should be. Maybe the PMO is using certain tools or methods or approaches, and they feel you should use the one I want. Or my organization doesn't have a PMO, they should have a PMO. Well, how about starting a community of practice? Let me be straight up honest about PMOs. PMOs are great, right? But the times are changing. It's not enough to demand that people follow certain protocol. You need to help them make sense out of it. Good evening, NC Worker. Always a pleasure to see my buddy NC Worker. Thank you for showing up for our PM discussion today, and everyone else who is on whatever platform. I'd love to know which platform you're listening to me from. So why don't you go ahead and say hello? All right. But going back to what I was saying, it's easy to be in a firm and think they should be doing the project management this way or that way, or we don't even have any process. What are you doing to help? What are you doing to bring an awareness? I keep going back to the previous challenge of many PMs hiding in the closet, not wanting to show their brilliance. And that's not how to do it. If you want change in an organization, how about leading the charge? How about seeing yourself as a change agent? See yourself as a beacon. Be bold. Stop feeling insecure. I just got certified last week. I don't know my left from my right. Don't be ridiculous. PMI gave you the certificate because you showed yourself as a worthy person. If you don't believe you're a worthy person, that's not PMI's problem. You are the problem. A lot of people have issues, trust issues. A lot of you, You get certified after sweating for hours, and you have the gall to say, I don't feel confident. I'm scared. Seriously? Do you think PMI was tripping when they gave you that certificate? Do you think that someone just said, oh, that's a nice guy, that's a nice lady, let's pass them? Do you not know that you earned it? You did. You see, this is part of it, not having confidence in the process. You are certified, but you don't have confidence. Why is that? I wonder. If you don't have confidence, maybe you need to go for some confidence building. Have a can do class to help you know that you truly can do it. So be confident. Understand that PMOs may not immediately show the value that you're looking for, but how about joining forces with them? Or how about just starting a revolution, a community of practice, center of excellence, right? So you need to ensure that your projects align with the goals of the organization. It's not about your agenda. Just work with the agenda of the firm. But if your firm is going in a direction that you feel is not ideal, say something, do something, offer your services. Are you not confident that you have something to offer? I always tell the story of when I was at Honeywell and I saw my colleagues failing this PMP exam left and right. So I go to my boss and I say, hey, Jim, can I help my colleagues? Many of them are failing. I want to help have like maybe a bi-weekly session where I can train, coach, and mentor. This is someone who just got certified less than 365 days before. You got to understand this. I think I got certified 6 months before I started training all of my colleagues. And this was the PMO forking out money for people to get certified. They were failing, but I made a difference. And the difference aligned with what management was trying to do. Management was trying to help people along their career path, and they wouldn't get a promotion to a certain level if they didn't get certified. So I was helping the firm's vision. See what I'm saying? That's what it's all about. Helping the firm. Don't just criticize where you are. Do something and make sure your projects align with the goals of the firm. Enough said. Challenge number 8, rose-colored glasses. Some people are wearing these rose-colored glasses. They think the moment I get certified, the heavens will open and the light will shine down on me and people will see I'm the favored one. And I'll get all the jobs on LinkedIn. I'll get all the jobs on Dice and all the job. Come on now. Do you know what the competition is? You have 1.3 million PMPs as a choice. What makes you different? Tell me, how are you different from the other PMP down the road? We don't want this to look like it's a dime a dozen. You have to have a distinguishing factor, a unique selling proposition. Some of you don't. Some of you are just like any other PMP down the road. You have no specialism, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Some of you are not specialized. Sad to say. You don't have anything unique about you as a project manager. Your soft skills game is lame, it's weak. Schedules, Microsoft Project, forget it. What can you do with MS Project? Zero. Let's even talk about the Asanas and the ClickUp and the Rights. You haven't even studied those. So you're just going off hot air. You're not really different from the average PMP. That is not how to play the game. You will not succeed like that. In the world of Agile, we talk about T-shaped skills. T-shaped skills means broad, but one deep specialism. What is your specialism? What are you specialized in? I can tell you my specialisms. So over the years, I've added more and more and more specialisms. Risk, schedule, the people piece, leadership. I have spent time learning under John Maxwell to beef up my leadership game and understand what exactly that is. I have spent time with the risk doctor, learning from him, learning what exactly risk is at a deeper level. My mentor, Mary Hirschner, has spent time encouraging me, motivating me. We did an entire course where not only was I a co-host, I was also learning. I am always learning from people. Very recently, I started learning more and more about artificial intelligence. And I have learned so much, and I'm always learning. And Daryl on the Project Leadership Institute with me has been a very good beacon and mentor to what exactly exists in the world of AI. And I'm eating it all up. But some people, they get certified as PMs and they think, oh, well, everything's just going to work. It's all going to be hunky dory. No, it's not. No, it's not. You got to put in additional effort. You got to have a specialism. Let's move on to number 9. I call it evolution challenge. The evolution challenge is poor application of frameworks, which is sad because people, they go about half of the way and there's half left, but they don't do the remaining half. So they remain half baked. A half baked PM is sad. Why not just go the extra mile, put in all the work, and get to the end of the journey and learn the whole thing? Learn the whole thing, you know, to have a solid application of frameworks, of methods, and have the mindset that backs up the why behind it. You know what I'm talking about. You know. I don't have to keep going on and on. Okay, you're making me look like the villain. I'm your friend. I'm trying to help you. Here's the final one that I talked about. It's T-shape. The T-shape challenge. T-shape challenge. Limited industry knowledge. Like I said, the PMP certification is broad. And if a PM doesn't have deep knowledge of the specific industry, let's say you're in healthcare and you get in as a PM and you don't up your game, and all of these clauses and plans and networks, and you don't understand that, how are you going to survive in that kind of a company? Or you're in the world of IT. You know, what is so comical? I have people that say, Phil, I want to be a technical PM, but I don't want to get technical. Seriously? You want to be a technical PM and you don't want to learn anything. You don't want to learn about cloud computing. You don't want to learn about how software is done. You don't want to learn about hardware. You don't want to learn about VMware. You don't want to learn about the cloud. How are you even going to survive? You're not going to survive. I want to encourage you, get technical. Hey, get technical, PMs. Some of you, I don't even know what you're thinking. It's part of the rose-colored glasses, part of the half-baked, and part of the fickle. Go get technical. Stop being lazy. Get technical. Find a technical mentor. There's a website. I'm going to help someone. You're going to thank me later. Look for a mentor that can coach you, train you, help you on a website called Wyzant, WYZANT.com. I'm a trainer and coach there, and I've coached so many people, coach people in their positions to actually get higher in the company, go for higher level positions. I've coached people who said, my boss said I should become a scrum master. I've got zero idea what that is. Help me. But not just that. There are other people there who can help coach you in cloud computing, right? In things like VMware, in hardware, in server configuration, in software development. Some of you, you've just been playing safe and you don't want to learn anymore. Stop doing that. Stop it. Go learn. Stop being fickle. Oh, I don't have the aptitude for this. You're a liar. You've got the aptitude. Stop giving me that lame excuse. If you could pass this ridiculous test that's so ambiguous, there's nothing you can't do if you put your mind to it. So I challenge you. Stop being weak. Many of you PMs, you're weak, man. You're weak. You're always complaining. I can't do it. I don't understand the technical. Did you try? All right, I'm going to get off my soapbox before I get any madder than I am. But thank you very much for joining me. I hope my ramblings and my rantings will make sense to someone and get them off their place of comfort and get you to do something that will get you to success. John Maxwell put it very nicely. Success to be a real success, you got to think about the KGS. Success is number one, knowing your purpose in life. Number two, growing to your maximum potential. Are you growing to your maximum potential? Some of you ain't. Some of you are, and I applaud you, those of you who are. And the third one is sowing seeds that benefit others, right? Knowing your purpose in life, that's the K. Growing to your maximum potential. Like I said, seek out mentors. And number three, sowing seeds. Some of you ain't sowing no seeds. Some of you ain't helping no one. Some of you see all these PMP students like crabs in the crab barrel trying to climb out, and you're like, I'm out. You're not. Sorry. Seriously, come on now. Help someone. Give a dog a bone. Help someone. I encourage you to sow seeds that benefit others. Now, on top of this, John has a four-pronged formula to be a real success. I want to teach you that really quick. R is for relationships. Are you building relationships in business? Are you aggressive? You got to be aggressive in seeking to help people by showing value. You're going to build relationships. Number two, equipping. Equipping is when you equip someone to do better than where they are, to go to the next level. When you equip people, it just comes back to help you. I'm telling you, I've seen this happen in my life. I've seen this happen in other people's lives. When you equip people to help them up the ante, you're helping yourself. The A is for attitude. What helps you succeed is attitude. If you have a positive mental attitude, it'll take you places. I like a quote from Zig Ziglar. Zig Ziglar says, it's not your aptitude that determines your altitude. It's all about your attitude. I see our friend Travis. Travis is one of our PMP gurus. Travis, well done. Travis got certified as a PMP. And Travis, I honestly know you're going to keep killing the game. You're one of those who I know, I can wager you're going to keep killing the game. And good to see you, Travis. Thank you very much. So Zig Ziglar, he said, it's your attitude that determines your altitude, not your aptitude. Your attitude, positive mental attitude. Have a can-do attitude. Believe you can do it. Hey, I'm going to speak to someone who's been at the sideline. You've been on the sidelines. I want to take the exam, but I'm scared. I haven't done enough. So what do? You plonk yourself down in your little seat, sitting on your hind end, refusing to schedule a date. Why are you like that? Why you do that? You've studied, worked, and you're like, I'm scared. And you're there for another how many months? Come on now. Get off your hind end, go schedule the exam, take the exam. It's an attitude thing. Now, some of you remind me of myself back in '05. I remember I was the person on the sidelines. I want to take the exam, but I don't feel I've done enough. I got to do more. So what do? I begin canceling my exam dates, because back in the day, there was no penalty. So I'll wait till the exam comes close, then I'll cancel it, because I was trying to chicken out of it until I said, Phil, I'm fed up of you. You're going into that exam 25th of June, '05. And that's when I got certified, because I held myself accountable. I said, I ain't taking no more excuses. You're going to do it. So I did it. And here I am, 18 years later. 18 years later. I know that if you don't take action to schedule it, it won't happen. If you don't have a positive mental attitude, you're not going to do much. Okay? Last but not least is leadership. John Maxwell, he says, everything rises and falls on leadership, and he's very correct. He also says the true measure of leadership is influence. Nothing more, nothing less. We need not only to be able to influence ourselves to take action, such as what I described, but we also need to be able to influence others. I like a quote from Steve Jobs that really summarizes leadership in such a profound way. Steve Jobs says, management is making people do what you want them to do, what you think they should do. He says, but leadership is inspiring people to do the things they never thought they could. Wow. He just redefined the leadership game. He said leadership is inspiring people to do the things they never thought they could. Wow. I encourage you, my friends, to inspire others to do things that they never thought they could, to blow their own minds. So, leadership is many things, but let's begin to influence, let's begin to kill the game. Remember the KGS, know your purpose in life. Spend time really thinking, why am I here? Some of you, I have to be honest, you're maybe not project management. Maybe you're something else, right? Maybe you're a hybrid, even though we all are inherent project managers because we all manage projects. But maybe that isn't the only thing you're called to do. Maybe you're called to do something else, and that's okay, right? Maybe you're called to lead an entire organization, and that's okay. But really ask yourself, what's my purpose in life? Then keep growing to your maximum potential. Daily, listen to something inspiring. If possible, morning and night, right? Grow yourself. Listen to positive messages. Look for my mentor, John Maxwell. He's got a minute with Maxwell daily, right? Minute with Maxwell. Watch all the minute with Maxwell's and sign up to be part of that program. Just Google it, you'll find it, right? And then sow seeds that benefit others. And to be a real success, relationships, equipping, attitude, and leadership. Thank you very much, my friends. I'm signing off for the night or for the afternoon, depending on where you are. Thank you all very much. You take care, and I wish you all the very best. Be a success. Don't be part of those who don't succeed. Be the top 2% that PMI talks about in the PMBOK 6, right? The top 2%, those that have superior relational skills, interpersonal skills, leadership skills, as voted by their bosses and peers. It's not those that have all the technical know-how. While that is good, you got to remember it's all about the relational piece. Okay? And that's why in John's How to Be a Real Success, relationships, in the survey by the Stanford Research Institute, it was shown that success is 87.5% contingent on relationships. Okay? That's all I'll say for the night. Thank you. All the very best.